Coming up on Mountain News this morning, the final round of early voting starts in Kentucky this week before the big day in less than 10 days. Plus, folks in Whitley County may want to hear about funding coming to the area for improvements.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Happy Monday, everyone. I'm Madison Carmouche. We are inching up to that 6 o'clock mark this morning. Let's send it over to meteorologist Tim Drawbridge for a look at your forecast.
Good morning, Madison. In pinch hitting for Megan's got the day off. And hey, she didn't have to get out and feel the cool chill to the morning air this morning. 36, low clouds and fog outside our door here in the heart of Perry County. And pretty much the same deal rolling down the Hal Rogers through the Cumberland Valley on into northern portions of Tennessee. Up to the north, things aren't too bad. Only Ashland checking in with the visibility that's less than 10. 43 at Prestonsburg, 35 though at Irvin, 39 Williamsburg, 45 at Wise. Speaking of Ashland, you are at 36 on the flip side. We're doing 52 as you make way toward Jacksboro. Satellite radar composite, high pressure right on top of us. A beautiful day yesterday, and it's going to be a beautiful day again today. Shifting off to the east, the return flow now starts to bring in some warmer temperatures, but the combination of factors means we're not really going to see a significant surge of humidity, which is a great feel to the air here for the last few days of October. The fog and the frost, that'll all end up burning off and will warm up to about 74 this afternoon in Hazard. More about the bus stop forecast in a few moments. Madison?
All right, Tim, thank you. The election is nearly 1 week away, and groups are continuing to campaign to get votes. Public education advocates gathered at the Appalachian Arts Alliance in Hazard on Saturday as part of the Protect Our Schools Kentucky Votes No on Number 2 homestretch tour. President of the Kentucky Education Association, Eddie Campbell, says his experience in the public school system led him to advocate for public schools to get all the resources needed.
As a public school educator, I'm a big advocate for our public schools. As a product of public schools, I know what public schools do to change the lives of students every single day. So making sure that our public schools are fully resourced, have educators that are there welcoming students every day, that's important for every single community. Our public schools are the heart and soul of every community all across the Commonwealth.
It was alluded to in the...
While those against Amendment 2 refer to it as a voucher amendment, supporters argue Amendment 2 is about Kentucky parents being in control of their children's education, saying parents deserve schools that reflect their values. An 11-person field is set for a historic 29th District State Senate write-in campaign. Here are the candidates: Tyler Ward of Whitesburg, Willie Crace of Garrett, Paul Williams of Prestonsburg, Leonard Hendrickson of Pinetop, Tanner Hesterberg of Prestonsburg, Justin Noble of Emelina, who was endorsed Friday night by Governor Beshear, Valerie Eisenhorn of Whitesburg, John Clem of Cranks, Andrew Thomas Saylor of Wallens Creek, Craig Blackburn of Prestonsburg, and Pinetop Mayor Scott Maiden, who received an endorsement from the Senate Republican Campaign Caucus Committee. The winner will serve a 4-year term representing Bell, Harlan, Letcher, Knott, and Floyd counties. The deadline to file was Friday afternoon. The write-in campaign was set in motion after the death of State Senator Johnny Turner on Tuesday. The other day, earlier last week, we learned the funeral arrangements. The visitation will be November 1st, Friday evening from 4 until 7 at the Harlan County High School Auditorium. Turner's funeral will be Saturday, November 2nd at 11 at the Holy Trinity Catholic Church in Harlan. The burial for Turner will be at the Rest Haven Cemetery in the Keith community. Turner was 76 years old. Once again, Election Day is a week from tomorrow. Early in-person voting in Kentucky starts this Thursday, October 31st. Mail-in absentee ballots must be received by 6 p.m. on Election Day, November 5th, to be counted. If you are registered to vote, you can find election guides, polling locations for the day of, as well as early voting and sample ballots at govote.ky.gov. There continues to be long lines at some early voting locations in East Tennessee. Election officials say if you plan to vote early, you might want to try a location that is not usually busy. You can cast your ballot at any early voting location in the county where you are registered. Next Thursday is the last day for early voting in Tennessee. Millions of dollars going to projects were toted in Whitley and McCreary counties on Friday. For the city of Corbin, this meant nearly $5 million for sewer line extensions. Mayor Susie Rasmus says many folks in Corbin do not have sewer and are still on septic service.
It's also the best use of money to get as many people attached to sewer that we possibly can. So basically, we're taking this money and looking for the best bang for our buck in how to help to develop Corbin even more.
In total, Senate President Robert Stivers and State Representative Nick Wilson presented more than $40 million in ceremonial checks. The Pike County Fiscal Court is continuing its efforts to address space issue at the county's landfill. WYMT's Buddy Forbes has a look at the landfill and the plans for progress.
Pike County's landfill is getting full.
The current landfill has about 3 years of space left in it, a little bit less than 3 years.
In 2019, the Fiscal Court began looking at ways to expand its life, researching and working with engineers to decide how to best move forward, estimating that the landfill would be full by 2027. Now, Judge Executive Ray Jones says the clock is ticking, with trash still trickling in.
We'll have a definite plan in place by the end of the year. We'll know whether we're going to either look at an option of a new landfill, partnering with another company to develop a landfill, or expanding the existing landfill.
Jones says the only other option, which the Fiscal Court is hoping to avoid, would be to drive the solid waste to neighboring landfills. But that would mean extra costs for transport, and the county would no longer have a say in the rates taxpayers are charged for the services.
We're going to look at what's in the best interest of the county financially long term, to reduce the risk to the county and to try to reduce the risk and cost to the citizens of the county.
In the meantime, the county is using recent grant funding to purchase and begin using an incinerator and air curtain to burn some of the natural debris that has contributed to the pileup.
And we're looking at ways to try to prolong the life of our current landfill until we've made a final decision.
Jones says it is not only about investing in the future, but maintaining the culture.
While we're trying to bring new jobs in, we're also working to try to make sure we keep the jobs that we have. And solid waste disposal here in the county at an affordable cost is part of that.
Hoping for a solid solution for the solid waste. In Pike County, Buddy Forbes, WYMT Mountain News.
The county recently received $1.6 million in grants to address the issue, one from the state's Division of Waste Management and another from the Abandoned Mine Lands Economic Revitalization Program. On Saturday, folks were honored during an annual event. Hometown Heroes recognition took place at the Tractor Supply in London. During the event, military service members, veterans, and first responders were all recognized and honored. There were also raffles and a cookout. Folks were thankful to have military and first responders come to the event and support Hometown Heroes and Lance Corporal Michael Cody Peters.
And a good Monday morning to you. About 6:06 right now. And across eastern and southern Kentucky, we've got high pressure smack dab right on top of us. And yes, that means we're going to get more sunshine today. But as high pressure also starts to head out to the east, the return flow brings in some warmer air, but you're not going to have to deal with the humidity. That's a good thing, especially for late October. We want to put that to bed at this point in the rearview mirror. 36 outside our door here at WYMT, mid-40s. As we get into the 7 and the 8 o'clock hour, mid-60s, beautiful and a bit cool for the lunch hour. We'll top out, though, at 74 this afternoon in the heart of Perry County. More about the ARH First Alert 70 forecast coming up in a few moments. Madison?
Thanks, Tim, and thank you for joining us on Mountain News this morning. More news is on the way. Just ahead, it's a yellow cab for passengers on 4 legs. How a business called Pet Cab is going places by solving a problem for pet owners.